Hello everyone and welcome back. This is a seminar on basically an introduction to Zoom etiquette. My name is Miranda Connelly and I am an ASC peer tutor. Basic tips for success in the Zoom world. First of all, lighting is key. Check to see what your camera sees. Test your audio. Use a headset or earbuds that have a microphone if sound is an issue. Find a place that has the best internet connection in your house. So I know this can be difficult, especially if people have family or if they have little kids, right? It can be really difficult. But just find the best place that works for you, right? Doesn't have to necessarily be the best place in the house, but just the best place that works in your circumstance, right? Also, close any program working in the background to keep audio and video functioning well. So again, the less work your computer has to do, the better, right? Sometimes even turning your video off helps if your audio is glitchy. It basically decreases the bandwidth that your computer has to deal with, and it just makes your audio better all around, right? Here are some basic tips continued. Zoom is a classroom, so act like you're in one, right? Don't be goofing off, don't be disrespecting your teacher, just like you would in a normal class, right? Have common sense, be respectful. Remember, everyone is human and in the same situation as you, so try to be kind, right? Everybody's going through this pandemic. Everyone is having a hard time, so just remember the human, right? We're all in the same boat. Also, have compassion for yourself, right? You're awesome and you got this. You can totally succeed, and I believe in you. Okay, so here are some basic technical tips. When you enter a Zoom classroom, a synchronous Zoom class, mute your microphone right away. Try to have your camera on as often as you can. Technically, instructors can't actually require you to have your camera on because it's an equity issue. However, it is the most respectful thing to have your camera on as often as you possibly can. It helps stimulate the actual environment that it would be and helps foster community, right? Switch to gallery view to see everyone at once. So this is located in your Zoom. It's basically the top right-hand corner. There's a little box filled with many other boxes. You can click on view and choose gallery view. And that way you can see everyone at once, right? Just as if you're looking at a conference table or a classroom, right? So try to look at your camera as often as you would in a normal face-to-face situation. It helps stimulate eye contact, which builds trust. So your camera is your eye, right? So if you're looking at your camera, you're stimulating eye contact, and it helps create that connection that we also miss, right? So, also one more tip is to don't use distracting virtual backgrounds. Use backgrounds that don't move. So a great option is just the background that blurs, right? So it just blurs your surroundings, and that way you keep your privacy, but it's not distracting, it's not moving, it's not animated, and it just keeps the focus on you, right? Next is be professional, right? Dress appropriately and don't Zoom from bed. I think we're all a little bit guilty of this, at least every once in a while. But just try to do it as least as you possibly can. This also helps improve your motivation and focus. I find that, ironically, the earlier I get up and the more I get dressed and ready for the day, makes me feel better about the day, and I feel more motivated and ready to succeed, right? If I go all day in my PJs, all I want to do is sleep. So getting into your dress and being professional is all, it all helps you motivate yourself, right? So it works both ways. You look presentable, but you also feel presentable, right? Also, don't use your camera as a mirror to do your makeup or hair or mess with something in your teeth, right? It's just, anything that's distracting to other people is generally not a great thing to do, right? So just, be professional. Also, try not to eat, but if necessary, turn your camera off and double check that your mic is muted. There's nothing worse than hearing crunching and in your mic, right? So double check that your mic is muted. And I tend to turn my camera off as well, but some instructors don't care. It's also very instructor-based, like everything, right? So have water and beverages within arm's reach so you don't have to get up. Again, all about being professional and just being present in your meeting, right? Finally, this should be common sense, but be nice and considerate. And in my opinion, be nice or leave, right? Try not to talk over others. This happens. It inevitably will happen in a Zoom session because of difference in bandwidth and difference in Wi-Fi speeds, but just try to be compassionate. One thing that helps with different Wi-Fi speeds is to use sign-offs like "that's all" or "I'm done" to indicate that you're done speaking. Also, being patient and waiting for prolonged silences. I know it can be awkward at first, but it really helps to make sure that they're done speaking. Another tip is, this is especially true for large classes or webinars or things like that where there's lots of participants. Use the raise hand icon if you'd like to speak. So some instructors just say unmute, I don't care. But most instructors, especially in larger classes, prefer that you use the raise hand icon. That way they can see exactly who needs their question answered, and there's no issue of people interrupting each other or people being uncertain of whether or not they can actually ask their question. It's just super helpful. Even some smaller classes use this, but as a general rule, larger classes or webinars like to do this. But it's also a great skill to know. Also, send a private message using the chat function if you need to communicate with someone directly, like a certain classmate, study buddy, or even the instructor themselves. But just so you know, the instructor can see your messages after the call is finished, generally, so keep that in mind. Don't be trash-talking your instructor, right? Or your host, because they can see your messages. So just keep that in mind, right? Okay, next is be respectful and understanding, right? We're all human. Nod your head to give thumbs up to let your instructor know you understand and are still with them, right? There's nothing worse than seeing blank faces in the classroom. It's even worse to see a set of blank screens, right? Where it's just nothing and crickets. It's worse for the student and it's worse for the instructor, right? So just, when you can, give thumbs up, give emoticons. If your camera's off, give smiley faces, give physical smiley faces when in doubt. Just reassure the instructor that you are glad that they're there and you appreciate them for all their hard work, right? Just the same way that you hope that instructors smile at you, right? You want to feel that appreciation, and they want to as well. Also, if you qualify for DSPS, which is now actually known as Student Access Services, or any other assistance service, the department will provide you with as many accommodations as you qualify for, right? Make sure to let your instructor know as well of your situation. We're all here to help you, right? Get your accommodations early, and I cannot stress this enough. Instructors are, well, they're required to be accommodating if you qualify for any of the services, but also they're going to be more accommodating if you don't qualify for those services. Let's say you just missed an assignment because you had a life crisis, or you had something happen, right? If you let them know as early as you possibly can, not the end of the semester, they're automatically going to be more accommodating, and they're going to be ready to help, right? Because you didn't wait. Finally, if you are in lecture, like I said earlier in the previous slide, send the instructor a chat message to ask a question if they are lecturing, right? Just respectful like normal. Okay, so some closing thoughts. You are not alone. You're supported. In an online environment, it is especially important to ask for help if you need it. You deserve to be successful. Don't wait until the last minute to ask for help, right? Have compassion for instructors and others around you. They are just, if not more, stressed out than you are, okay? And remember that you got this. I believe in you. You can do it. Us at the ASC are here for you and here for your success, okay? You can do this. You are not alone. Okay. And now, if this was live, would be the time for questions. But if you do happen to have any questions, feel free to email me. I am a tutor for the ASC. You can find my Zoom link and information on the ASC tutoring webpage, which will be linked down at the bottom of this video. And yeah, I hope that you learned something out of this. Thank you so much for attending. I wish you the best of luck, and I hope you have a fantastic semester.